Hey, what's up guys? Mike Red Fox here. In this video, we're going to talk about the current state of buying GPUs. Alright, so you can fast forward through this part if you'd like. I'll leave timestamps to everything I talk about down below. But first, I just want to share my experience getting graphics cards over the last several months, what it's been like, and what challenges I face right now. So in the beginning, I was getting pretty lucky just putting in some work and having Twitter notifications go off and just really following the space and understanding the landscape of things. You know, I remember that Newegg used to just tweet out when they would be dropping some graphics cards or some combos, you know, on their Twitter account, and then you knew you could show up like 8 p.m. and at least score, you know, a card or two or maybe a combo. And I got quite a few cards that way, you know, earlier in the year, maybe the end of last year. Separate from that, Best Buy was pretty easy for quite a few months. You just had to really know the cadence of when they were going to drop graphics cards. You know, really, if you paid attention, you knew when to show up for the most part. You understood how their website worked, and you know, each time I did that, so 2 times I got 3 GPUs each, and then the last time I only came away with 1. Amazon seemed like you could just never get anything on there. I mean, I had every notification going off on my phone, on my watch, and would jump on them immediately, but I could never get a card that way. And you know, over the last several months, that's really been it for me. It's been Best Buy, it's been Newegg, and I'll talk about some of the other ways as we go through the rest of the video today, but it seems like it's gotten much harder, and I was getting pretty frustrated because if you've watched my previous videos, you know I think about this time right now as the moment in time, and I want to buy as many 30 series GPUs as possible while the market is up, while mining profitability is really good, and while I have some cash to invest in it. Like, this is the great time right now. That also means that GPUs are in really high demand. There's other things in the world happening that are impacting the supply as well, but you know, there's this huge demand for it, not enough supply. I want to buy them. And that's really where we're at. And I've talked about putting in the work, and I'm still putting in the work, but I had to really sit back and establish what was happening, because I was putting in the same amount of work, but coming up empty time and time again. So I knew that demand was continuing to rise, but I wanted to get down and just really investigate and figure out, you know, what are ways that I can really get GPUs? Do I have to pivot where I'm putting in work in order to make sure that I can continue to get a good supply of graphics cards coming in? And that really led me down the internet rabbit hole. And what I'd like to do in this video is talk about, I think I have 7 ways that it's possible to get a graphics card by putting in some work. And let me switch over the camera here. And we're gonna start with the big one, and that's bots. This is the internet rabbit hole I went down, and I want to take you guys through it, and I'm pretty sure I'm just scratching the surface. But you know, when I thought about it, is you have to be able to compete, right? I'm not a scalper. I'm not flipping these GPUs. That's not the business that I'm involved in. I just want to be able to get them. And what I've learned is that you just can't compete. I'll take you through a little bit here. So the first bot I have up here is called Fair Game. It's been around a while. This is their GitHub. I'll leave links to all this stuff, by the way, in the description down below. And this bot is free. So, hey, instead of trying to jump on notifications on your phone, let this bot do the work for you. It works just for Amazon. And really what it does is just add products to your cart that you put the SKU in for. It's got all the steps here on how to get it set up, and you just run it. And this is essentially what it does, is it just goes through Amazon, and if the product is available that you're looking for, it'll attempt to add it to your cart and attempt to check out. And that's it. And at least for you, instead of jumping on, if you are jumping on any Amazon restocks that are coming up empty, you could at least let this run and take that mental load off your mind. So this one's called Fair Game. I've been running it for like a week. It's gotten GPUs in my cart, but it has not checked any out. And that's because there's better bots, there's faster bots, and I'm going to show you a couple of them right now that I've tried. The next one is called Stellar, and this is a big one. And I'm not an expert on this stuff, but what I've realized is that this all comes from the shoe game, the sneaker game. The bots have been used for a long time in that world, and now since GPUs are really high demand, people have shifted over to flipping GPUs. So those are some of the people that we're competing against. And this bot is sold out on their website. You can't get it. You have to know where to get it from, and you're going to pay probably double the price that it initially was when you could get it directly from the developer here. But let me tell you this, they got almost every major website figured out. They're dominating Amazon. They got Walmart, they got GameStop, they got Best Buy figured out. Now I understood why I could no longer get GPUs from there, and more. But once I figured out and learned about Stellar here, I understood that I just can't compete. As a person, I just really can't compete. There are a couple ways I'll talk about in a minute where you do have the ability to compete and get a GPU as somebody just sitting down on their computer or on their phone. But this was the eye-opening one for me, was wow, they have everything figured out. It actually fascinated me how much they had figured out, and I felt kind of silly not knowing that this was happening. And I felt kind of silly realizing all of this and then thinking about all the time that I spent trying to get GPUs, not knowing that this bot was just running for all these people and just taking GPUs out from under me. So big eye-opener there. So yeah, like I said, they got Amazon on lock, Best Buy on lock, Newegg's on lock, GameStop's on lock, Walmart's on lock. So you're probably not getting a GPU because you're not going to be able to compete essentially with a computer. So that's Stellar. The newest one that I just jumped in starting today is called Nova. This one works just for Amazon, and there's some benefits that it has to it, such as cloud monitoring instead of having to use proxies. And if you're watching this video, all that stuff may seem a little over your head. That's okay. If you do go down the rabbit hole, you will learn all about it. But I just started using this one. I'm going to report back if I have any success in my Discord, so jump in there if you're not already. Links in the description below, and we'll see what I come up with here. But that's Nova. So that's number one. Number one way to get GPUs for mining specifically, in my opinion, is to use bots and to get involved in that world. I still don't know if it's worth it. I'm just getting started. I haven't gotten a single GPU yet, but I've only been doing it less than a week, so we'll see. But listen, if you're trying to get one GPU, this is going to lead me to the next segment here. If you're trying to get one GPU for your gaming rig and that's it, don't do this, because you're going to spend more on the bots and, whether buying them or renting them on the proxies than it's worth. If you're trying to score a lot of GPUs for mining, this might be worth it. I don't know. I'll let you know. But back to that, if you're just a gamer trying to get one GPU for your PC, listen, just pay the scalp prices. And that leads me to the next way to get a GPU, and that's on eBay or locally or whatever website you want to use. Just pay the scalp price, because what is your time worth? You got to value your time. If you're going to spend time learning how bots work, if you're going to spend money paying for them, and weeks trying to get a graphics card just so you can pay MSRP, what is your time worth? Just pay the scalp price, in my opinion. It sucks. You're giving in to the scalpers. They're the bad guys. But just, think about your time. Buy that GPU and just put it in your rig and have fun. And I mean, you can see one of the best cards for mining right now is the RTX 3060 Ti. I'm on eBay's website. These are the sold listings. I mean, look at this, $1,500 for a card that I think original MSRP was what, $399? Obviously a little more than that at MSRP now, but I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. This is not new news, but in my opinion, if you're just looking for one card, I would just do this and just continue on with your life. It's just not worth it. So that's eBay. That's paying scalp price. That's a second way that you can get a GPU. The third way is to wait in line outside your local computer store. I have Micro Center on the screen here. There's a bunch of these around the United States, and people report, they go wait all night, and in the morning they can potentially score the graphics card that they're looking for. Takes a little bit of work. Obviously, you got to wait in line like all night. You also got to know, when they get restocks. There's like an unofficial Micro Center Discord where you can like learn when trucks show up with restocks for Micro Centers, so you know when they're most likely to have a GPU. You got to understand how their queue system works, how many cards you can get per month. So it takes a little bit of work and research too, and obviously time. You're going to be just standing outside or sitting in your car all night hoping that you can get a card. So again, if you're just trying to get one GPU, what is your time worth? Is it worth just paying the scalp price? It's up to you, but really sit down and think about that. So yeah, Micro Center or potentially another local computer store to you that works similarly, that is getting a supply of stock. So that remains an option to get a GPU as well. And then the next one, I'm sure all of you are familiar with, is Newegg Shuffle. Newegg Shuffle is the ability to win a chance to give Newegg your money. That's what it is. They do it, I don't know, 5, maybe 6 times a week, depending on the week. And you can come in here, select what they have available for the shuffle that week. It'll be a mix of graphics cards, processors. I've seen consoles show up on there. They do this combo thing. I know, I get it. And you can select as many or as little as you'd like, enter the shuffle, and then you will get an email, or I think they do text now and push notifications if you win. And then you have a time window to jump in and buy the thing that you won. You should enter with one account so you don't get blocked from this. I'll tell you that I do my account and my wife's account every time there's a shuffle since the first shuffle, and I've won 3 times. I got a 3060 when that launched. I got a 3070, and most recently I got a 6700 XT. 2 of those were combos. One of them was not. So it's possible. It is very rare and seems to be getting rarer. But listen, if you're mining, like, all it takes is literally 30 seconds of your time. If you want to get more GPUs, get the alert that the shuffle has started, click a few checkboxes, and then potentially you get selected and can buy another card for your rigs. So that is another option. I do this every single day because, like I said, why not? It only takes a few seconds to sign up. All right, next one is to get GPUs. I'm on Best Buy's website, but you can do this on Amazon and a few other websites. If you want to get the GPU you're looking for, you could just buy a pre-built. Let's take a look at one. I actually have both of these top 2. This one I have a video coming out on. So this is gaming desktop by Asus, and you can buy this whole thing. You can see the specs that it has here. It has an RTX 3070 in it. You can buy this whole desktop just to take out that GPU and put it in a mining rig. And then obviously you got to figure out what to do to get rid of the rest of the components. You can sell it, as a pre-built with no GPU in it. You can take, part it out and sell the parts individually. But this is an option, and I'll tell you, and like I said, I have a video coming out on this. You will pay less than the scalp price for that GPU once everything is said and done. Now, it's really not too bad. So that's an option. Here's another one that I just got. I haven't opened it yet. And same pricing, RTX 3070 in there. You don't typically know what 3070 you're going to get, especially with CyberPower PC or any of the similar pre-built manufacturers. They're really just taking what they get in stock and putting it in there. I think for the Asus one, you're pretty safe knowing that you're getting an Asus Dual. Seems to be what everybody's been getting out of there. But for these CyberPower PCs, you just don't know. So Best Buy is a place that you can get these. You can also get them from CyberPower PC directly, and there's a few others that make pre-builts. And really what I look for is availability. I don't want to be buying a pre-built and it's got like a 3-month lead time on when I'm going to get it, because I just don't know what the mining landscape's going to look like then. So for me, getting these is I need a fast turnaround time. I want to get it within a week because I want to get that GPU out and then I want to sell off the rest of it. But this is actually a pretty good option. These are getting scalped pretty hard right now. If you take out that GPU, sell the GPU, and sell the case and all its components without the GPU, you will make quite a bit of money because that GPU is selling for what the whole PC is worth. So I've seen them getting scalped. I think it's still early, but this is going to be dominated by scalpers soon. So just FYI, in my opinion. All right, next way that you can get a GPU, and we're in the kind of space now where it's as a person you can compete. The bots don't really have AMD's website figured out. We're on AMD Direct Buy right now. They're starting though, but it's no better than if a person were to go in. So you can see on AMD's site they have processors and their 6000 series of graphics cards up. They're out of stock right now, but learn the cadence, usually Thursdays, I think once a Friday. They will post stock, and it's a nightmare. You got to be ready, but the website will destroy you. It just can't handle the load because there's me and you trying to hit it up, sitting at our computers or on our phones. There's bots attacking it, trying to buy graphics cards, but it's a pretty even playing field right now. So it is possible. Most people that I've seen actually get GPUs from AMD Direct Buy have done it manually, as they say, instead of using a bot. But it's a pain, and it's very, very frustrating. I've tried probably half dozen times, and I've gotten really close, but come up empty. Plus, these GPUs aren't the best for mining. 30 series is better, but still, I would try to get a couple of these personally. I just haven't been able to yet from AMD directly. And that leads me to the last way that you as a person can get a GPU without using a bot, without waiting in line at Micro Center or paying scalp prices or waiting on Newegg Shuffle. And that is good old Zotac Store. Now I know Zotac traditionally is not the most highly regarded manufacturer of GPUs, but as far as a consistent way to probably get one GPU per week, this is it. It takes some learning though. So on Zotac Store, they got all their 30 series GPUs up here, and they restock these probably around twice a week. Sometimes it's the middle of the night for me. Sometimes it's really late evening. If you're just showing up on this site when you get a notification that there's stock and you don't know the steps to take, you will come up empty every single time. And you'll be super frustrated like I was. I probably been trying to get a GPU from Zotac Store like 8 times. And the last couple times I finally learned like all the steps to be able to do this. And I just got a 3060 on the last, or 2 drops ago. It's coming tomorrow. And I showed up 10 minutes late to the drop because I didn't see my notification. So there are steps you got to follow. Here they are. I'll leave a link to all this. But I followed this exactly, and even though I had 300 tabs open, I was able to score a GPU from Zotac Store, and just been following this for a while. If you're available and you have these steps on lock, you could probably score a GPU every drop, at least every other drop from Zotac Store, and have like a supply of GPUs coming in once a week or so. So I highly recommend this one. this has been, this one feels really attainable. So that's it. That's the last one. That's Zotac. So listen, that's everything that I've found. You know, really diving into where I need to put in the work has made me really focus, you know, my efforts. I'm using some bots to take the load off of buying GPUs and jumping at notifications. You know, I'm just focused on a few notifications now. That's when Zotac drops, when AMD drops, the daily or semi-daily Newegg Shuffle. And that's it. That's where I'm focused in. And the bots are going to look at the other places for me. I know it like sucks. I never thought I'd get there and have to do that. But where I like morally feel okay is that I'm using them for mining, for my business, you know, to provide for my family now and in the future. So I've settled with that I need to do that in order to compete. If there's any other ways that you have found that are possible to get GPUs other than the ones I've mentioned here, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below. I hope this video is helpful to you in any way. Jump in my Discord if you have any questions or want me to steer you in the right place. I'm really just here to help in order to get GPUs based on some of the things that I've talked about here. Again, link is in the description below. But yeah, guys, that's what I got for you in this video. As always, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.